Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Bilal Mumtaz and I currently serve as a co-founder at Ailaaj, which is Pakistan's leading overall integrated health tech portal offering e-pharmacy and telemedicine solutions alongside B2B distribution and hospital pharmacy management. And what I'm about to tell you may come as a shock, but there are obviously a lot of difficulties along the way. It's easy to come up on a stage and tell you that a startup that we've been working on has actually managed to expand, raise funds. In our case, it was also a merger. To date, actually, the only merger in the Pakistani startup ecosystem. But it began in a very different way. It actually began around 9 years ago at a time when mobile internet wasn't even accessible to most of the public. And if you talk about even more technicality, mobile internet in the form of 3G and 4G hadn't even begun when the venture sayed.com.pk, the original e-pharmacy arm of Ailaaj, was actually founded in 2014. So my journey is as such where I came back to Pakistan right after graduating from university to more or less expand a family business that we had been running over the past 70 years in different verticals of healthcare, one of which actually was pharmacies, and I talk about brick and mortar pharmacies. But apart from that, pharmaceuticals and medical equipment was a very important part of what we did. So in 2014, after intensive R&D, we launched Pakistan's first ever online pharmacy, Sayed. And around 4 to 5 months later, we got very exciting news. And that news was that mobile internet on one's mobile device would become accessible to more than 100 million Pakistanis overnight. That's a huge jump from 30 million people using the internet primarily through desktop, which included laptops and PCs, to now more than 100 million getting access to the first time to a brand new world. And even to this date, more than 70% of the e-pharmacy that we're running is comprised of mobile users. And impact was something that we really wanted to make above all else. Many, many reasons were there for wanting to start a project of this scale, one of which included the fact that we needed to reach far-flung areas of Pakistan, जहाँ पे patient को दवाई मिलती नहीं थी. क्योंकि मुझे सुनना पड़ता था कि हमारी जो पुरानी फार्मेसी थी माल रोड पर लाहौर में, वहाँ पे तकरीबन हर कोने से पेशेंट्स आया करते थे मेडिसिन लेने के लिए. वजूहात क्या थी? बहुत सारी. एक वजह ये थी कि हमारे पास या हमारे गाँव में या हमारे पास बंदे इलाके में कोई फार्मेसी है ही नहीं. दूसरी वजह ये थी कि फार्मेसी तो है लेकिन कोई रेप्यूटेबल फार्मेसी नहीं है. तीसरी वजह ये कि जो हमें मेडिसिन प्रिस्क्राइब की गई है, that is not available in the pharmacy that's in our locality. And addressing these issues, we became very courageous and set forth to create this online pharmacy, जिसका एक milestone हमने touch किया 4 साल बाद, जिसमें 270 cities तक हमने deliveries manage की. More than the RAS, more than even the leading e-commerce sites at the time. And then what happened were subsequent expansions. हमने corporate sector को भी tap किया. हमारी 3 बड़ी सी बड़ी pharmaceutical manufacturers के साथ collaborations शुरू हुई थी. सबसे पहले Pfizer के साथ. Pfizer के साथ 2015 में हमें बताया गया कि एक उनको डर लग रहा था कि एशिया में बहुत सारे ममालिक के अंदर इनकी मेडिसिन्स रेप्लिकेट हो रही है, सही तरह से रखी नहीं जा रही है और बिक रही है मार्केट में, leading to an increased likelihood of something bad going on. They had a pneumonia vaccine at the time and they entrusted us alongside another distributor and alongside another private party as the only 3 touch points where one could get this vaccine in Pakistan. उन्होंने आम या even reputable chain pharmacy को ये responsibility नहीं दी थी. And what happened was we launched a home vaccination program in Lahore, Karachi, and Islamabad/Rawalpindi, which we were able to run for a year and a half. And then we expanded from there on with that success by launching our own vaccination program, जिसमें हम typhoid or flu or even rabies or tetanus की shots offer करते थे patients के doorsteps पर. That on, a lot of other collaborations ensued within the pharma sector of Pakistan, जिसमें कुछ के साथ हमने इनके pharma reps के साथ collaborations की कि वो hospital जाके doctor को patient को दोनों हमारी platform promote करते थे कि why go to a physical pharmacy, why spend time, spend money on fuel, spend other miscellaneous costs and physically going while you can order a medicine straight to your doorstep. तो एक pharmaceutical company Novartis के साथ हमने तकरीबन कोई 300 touch points touch किया पंजाब और KPK में. And then with others, we had such a good rapport that was built कि website linking हमारी शुरू होगी. हम और भी retargeting practices करते थे और marketing activities शुरू करते थे उनके diabetic patients को retarget करने के लिए, and so on and so forth. In fact, the one probably thing that really not only just took a hit on every industry, including healthcare, but also was a boon specifically for pharmacy, albeit for a very small time, was the COVID-19 pandemic. अब उसमें chain pharmacies का ये था कि if you look at the year-on-year statistics from 2020 as opposed to the year before, they were actually doing less business because COVID से एक quarter के अंदर इतनी boom हुई थी कि लोगों ने क्या करना शुरू किया? They went and they started buying things and hoarding medicines for themselves. और उसके बाद शायद COVID के डर की वजह से no one felt like leaving the house anymore. What we did in this time was हमने देखा कि एक trend चल रहा है market में. By market I mean pharmaceutical industries. Pharmaceutical industries बहुत सारी nutraceuticals में expand हो रहे थे. Nutraceuticals में by the way expand होने के लिए आपको ले से plant लगानी पड़ेगी, आपको investment ले से करनी है, आपको registration ले से करनी है. But उसका ये advantage है कि traditional pharmaceutical की marketing नहीं होती है, जबकि nutraceuticals की हो सकती है. तो हमने बेशुमार brands को पकड़े और हमने कहा था कि आप हमारा portal use करें, use our social media, use our blog even. And then we managed to achieve a gross merchandise value that was 3 times what we were currently achieving in the space of a mere 3 quarters during the year. और तकरीबन हमने 10 pharmaceutical manufacturers को target किया. फिर 2021 के अंदर what happened was another tech venture in our family, which was focused on telemedicine, saw an opportunity for us to merge. तो ये फिर e-pharmacy telemedicine के services ने काम किया. We raised a good amount of investment from GS's VC division. And from then on in, हमने pharmaceutical distribution में expand किया और हमें एक contract मिला hospital pharmacy चलाने के लिए. Now, the question now that everyone has is, अब digital health का क्या scope है पाकिस्तान में? Digital health involves many things. It can involve the startup sector जिसमें आपको e-pharmacies नज़र आ रही है, lab collection के marketplaces नज़र आ रही हैं. You are very cognizant with basically teleconsultation portals where one can see a doctor to the comfort of his own home or office. फिर EMR और clinical software का भी इसमें scope है. इलाज में एक और भी service है जिसमें OPD insurance digitize वो करते हैं in the space of 3 days. Whereas if you go to a regular insurance company, it takes at least 30 days to get all that paperwork filed. अब scope आगे बढ़ने के लिए, what really I think is a need of an hour over here is the introduction of insurance in Pakistan. मैं आपको अगर clear मिसाल देता हूँ, मेरा एक जानने वाला अमेरिका में, he had an insurance and plus distribution platform for specialty pharmacy over there. अब specialty pharmacy ऐसी pharmacy है जिसपे आम OTC items नहीं बिकती हैं. He was dealing with items from the oncology/cancer range. He was selling hepatitis medicines. He was selling medicines for rare diseases. He was doing the insurance at the back end so that when you went to a doctor, you could use this platform to get your insurance covered for buying the medicines, and he would do the delivery as well. He successfully exited a company of that for $40 million. And he then went into creating another company, which is just doing insurance. Jisko $160 million ki investment aa rahi hai. I mean, you do not see figures like that, let alone in health tech, in tech for that matter. And if there have been investments of that scale, they've been far and few between. And the problem with the country we have is there's too much out-of-pocket expenses being handled. We have a country, 70% of the people are living below the poverty line. And yes, it's very assuring that we're spending a lot through the government for Sehat Card. Ab Sehat Card, जो उनका CEO था प्रोग्राम का, वो कह रहे थे कि अगर ये कार्ड सक्सेसफुली बलूचिस्तान और सिंध में इंटीग्रेट होता, it would cost a third of our allocated healthcare budget. But at the same time, that would just, what we're allocated for healthcare is only around 4% of our budget, whereas it is recommended through WHO that कम से कम 7% budget healthcare में allocate होनी चाहिए. So that's my take on the whole thing. बाहर वाली markets को हम क्या करें तो a person is earning more, person can afford to be on insurance. And insurance is that financial mechanism for treatments to exist, for research and development to exist, and for an ecosystem to be at play. Abhi bhi, in this conference alone, I've been a part of a few roundtables centered on pharmaceuticals and health tech. So मैंने उन पे ये मशवरा दिया था कि, first of all, we have a lot of players already developing software. We have people, in e-pharmacy. We have people doing telemedicine. But why aren't we addressing serious elephants in the room, which are the fact that we are also a very unhealthy nation? अगर देखा जाए तो हमारी आबादी में से double-digit millions of figures में, so more than 10 million people are either diabetic, they have a consistent pulmonary disorder, or a heart disease, or cholesterol. मैंने भी एक point note किया था कि to measure your obesity, there's an index called a body mass index. Developed world में 22 पे cut off है, Pakistan में 25 है. So just to give you an example, a higher figure indicates basically it's your weight in kilograms over the over the height, and you multiply that. So in essence, we have to look more to the future. We have to collaborate with each other, and we have to put our heads down and figure out digitally how can we become a superpower like the other countries in the world have, because we have the talent, we have the tech at play, but we need to figure out how to formalize the ecosystem. Thank you very much.